So it looks like Xbox might be getting some help in the future in terms of their service, Game Pass. And this is something that I think Microsoft's really serious about, so I'm sure this is probably going to happen. But before we get on with the video, you guys know how it is. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel for weekly content. And you can always go over there and follow me on Twitter at LordAddictILP. And don't forget to go over there and follow me on Twitch at the Iron Lords Podcast. I'm streaming Elden Ring right now. And without any further ado, let's talk about Game Pass again, because we've talked about it a few times on this channel, but that's okay. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Ad here, coming at you for another video. Today we're going to be talking about Game Pass. You guys know that service that Microsoft has put a lot of money into. It's very debatable that they would have even invested into companies like Bethesda, Activision, what they've bought game studios like Ninja Theory, Playground Games. Maybe they would have bought Playground Games even without Game Pass because they've worked with them so long. But regardless, they bought all of these companies because they wanted to continuously feed content, kind of like Netflix does, to Game Pass to keep people subscribed. But one of the huge issues they've always had for years is how they do their PC app. The Game Pass PC app is a mess, the Windows Store is a mess, and a lot of the PC gamers won't even touch that. Steam players would rather go to Steam and buy that for full price on Steam than go and download it as part of their subscription service that a lot of my friends I know have the subscription service, but they still get it on Steam because that's just where they prefer to play. They like all of their stuff in one place. And there was even rumors at one point that Microsoft might actually been looking at Steam, because what their mindset is, if you won't go to us at the Windows Store, we'll buy Steam and we'll put Game Pass in Steam. And a lot of people assume that Steam would never do something like this, because if you think about it, it would kind of defeat the purpose of Steam. If Microsoft buys Bethesda, if Microsoft buys, let's say, EA, which I doubt they'll buy EA, and currently they're trying to buy Activision, you're constantly putting these huge third-party titles on Steam and they're supposed to get 30%. So if you put it from that perspective, why would Steam ever agree to put Game Pass on their store? Because they would forfeit that 30%. Now, I'm sure Microsoft would do something like maybe pay them off the subscription service, or just give them upfront money for them putting Game Pass into the store, especially if it's integrated. But you know, everyone always wondered if this is something that could happen in the future, if Steam could actually put Game Pass, and if they would put Game Pass. Well, they were actually being interviewed, I think it was PC Gamer, and Gabe was actually talking about Game Pass. Now, the interesting thing is Gabe said he would never, well, not never, but he said he wasn't really looking into developing his own subscription service. But he did say that Steam Game Pass value is more than willing to integrate Xbox Game Pass for PC with Steam, so subscribers are able to download their games directly through Steam's storefront, much like the case with EA Play. I don't think a Game Pass equivalent is something that we need to do ourselves, like I was saying earlier. Building subscription service at this time, but for their customers, it's clearly a popular option. Now, let's talk about what that exactly means. When I read that, what I see is Gabe just coming out there and he says, look, I have considered making a subscription service, but at this time we're too far behind on the curve. We don't have the type of studio output that something like Microsoft or PlayStation have. And not to mention, in the past, Gabe and Steam doesn't really seem interested in making exclusive games. It's always felt like they're okay with just that 30% money that they get from selling all of the third-party games, all the indie games. And I feel like for the most part, that's pretty accurate. I don't think Gabe is wanting to come out and do something like this, but he knows Game Pass is getting popular. He knows that this kind of subscription service he needs to adapt to or will get stayed behind, kind of like what PlayStation's doing. PlayStation tried the PlayStation Now thing, but now since they know that with the popularity of a Game Pass services, they need to adapt or they're going to get left behind, and you're seeing the same thing with Steam. They're like, we don't want to make a subscription service at all, but what we will do is work with companies like Microsoft and Game Pass and integrate it directly into our store. So if you do have these subscription services, you could just go to our store and download them. Now look, let's talk about the future of subscription services in Steam. I don't think that Steam's going to do this with every subscription service under the sun, but we do know that a lot of places are pulling back from Steam. Ubisoft did it. I don't know if they're coming back or not. EA did it. I don't know if they're coming back or not. I don't really keep track of all that stuff, but I do know that the ones that pulled away kind of made their own subscription services. So it's kind of pointless to go back to Steam when you're going to keep that kind of Windows thing open where you could pay that premium of $15 to $20 a month and go onto the other storefront to get that. Now, if you notice, Bethesda closed their launcher, and I always thought that Microsoft would move everything to the Activision Battle.net after that acquisition is completed. But now, since this is happening, I don't think that's the case anymore. I think that they're probably going to move everything to Steam, and they've already worked with something with Steam to do maybe some form of integration in Game Pass. Because if you think about it, it would make more sense to Microsoft as a company to move everything to Battle.net, which has a lot more anti-cheating software, and it's just a better store than the Windows Store. And you can integrate Game Pass into that store, and I feel like that would be the better choice than to move everything to Steam. But clearly Microsoft, they want something from Steam. And you know what they want? They want that huge player base of people that only buy games on Steam. There are definitely Steam fanboys that won't shop anywhere else but Steam. And I respect it to a point. But at the end of the day, Microsoft needs these people. They need this support from these individuals to make PC Game Pass successful. Now, I can see Microsoft go ahead and put everything on Steam, because they did just shut down the Bethesda launcher and put those on Steam because they know people are going to buy those on Steam. They know 100% that there's going to be a massive amount of people that won't buy anything unless it's Steam. So they're going to let that go over there, and they'll put Game Pass somewhere else, maybe Battle.net. I think Battle.net, like I said, would be the best choice. And then you'll have the subscription service over here on Battle.net, and you'll have people double dipping, and maybe not necessarily double dipping, because it's like I said, I know there's a lot of people, I know a lot of people personally that have the subscription service Game Pass PC and Game Pass Ultimate, so they have the Xbox version, and they're still buying games on Steam. So they're kind of double dipping. And maybe Microsoft's okay with that kind of stuff. Maybe Microsoft will put Activision's game over on Steam when that's completed. They'll put all the future stuff they buy on Steam, because they know at the end of the day, if they put stuff on Battle.net, they're going to go and buy that on Steam as well. And the people that are okay with playing it on Battle.net, they'll just go over there and play that on Battle.net on the Game Pass subscription service. And a lot of people on Steam is probably going to have these subscription services as well. So that actually might work out for them, but I actually feel like Steam is the better place overall for Game Pass. I feel like if you find a way to work with Gabe like he's clearly asking you to, Microsoft, I feel like you might double to triple your numbers on PC Game Pass, because that's where all the players are, and I feel like that's the better choice. But who am I to know? I'm not running a multi-billion trillion dollar company. It's just, as a consumer and an influencer looking at the landscaping of the industry, if there's like more people would subscribe to PC Game Pass if that was integrated onto the Steam store. Sure, you might lose the odds of a lot of sales, a lot of potential sales. Starfield is coming out at the end of this year, and if that was available on Game Pass on Steam, you would probably lose a couple million in sales. But I don't know, that's here or there. Maybe they value the subscription services, monthly income coming in more than just those initial sales. But anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think Steam is an important factor when it comes to PC Game Pass like I do? Or do you think that what they're doing now is going to work? And I think both scenarios work out fine, but I do feel like in terms of growth of PC Game Pass, Steam would make the most sense. But tell me what you guys feel in the comment section below. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.